Welcome to this edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience. I'm Mike Stidham, hanging out with the greasy biker, Todd Reed. Todd, how you doing tonight, my man?
Great, Mike. Thanks for having me.
We're back here for some more slamming action, and we got a kid coming down from Wyoming. I know you've done a little research on him. He's supposed to be a pretty tough kid.
He is. Ty Hamblin, Wyoming kid. Again, he is a champion. He's going to go up against one of the local kids, Jason Allguire.
Well, the Gator, everybody knows the Gator. He's been in this cage many, many times, but I'm looking forward to the main event. Couple of heavyweights coming out here. El Oso, Jesus Herrera, and I'm not really sure who this guy that he's fighting, Cory Rassmussen. He's also from Wyoming, so he's a little bit of an unknown to this cage.
I think it's going to be another exciting fight. Can't wait to see him bang it out.
Anytime the big guys get in there, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you. All right, folks, we're going to get things started with a couple little guys, Jeremy Sullivan and Austin English. Don't know a dang thing about either one of these guys, Todd. Both of them coming in from out of town. Sometimes these guys come from out of town, come from different parts of the state, and we don't get a chance to really get to meet them or chat with them before.
Jeremy Sullivan with a huge reach advantage over English. It's going to be interesting to see where this fight goes.
You know, he's very, very tall for the division, that's for sure. Boy, that is a profound reach advantage, and he definitely has the tattoo advantage as well. You know, it's a fight show, man. The guy with more tattoos is going to be tougher. That's plain and simple.
Well, that's usually how it works out. We'll have to see what happens here with Austin English. Another tough kid. He's got some wrestling background.
Yeah, he's been wrestling, he says, all his life. We'll have to see. Looks like Sullivan's got Will Bernales working his corner there. Will Bernales is a very well-renowned fight coach in town here. And then Lonnie Foster, the best of the best of the best. He's your referee for this contest. Refereed UFC 4, been around the show, been around the game for a long, long time. And has been refereeing this show since we started. I think he's probably logged in more refereeing hours than any other referee on the planet. We've done so many fights. Touch of the gloves, and round number one underway. You mentioned that English has a wrestling background. Nice takedown to get things started.
Straight to the ground. I figured that was going to happen. You see when they're looking at each other, he noticed that reach advantage as well.
Well, yeah, you know. He wisely came up underneath and got the takedown, was able to secure him down on the ground now. However, he is in the guard of Jeremy Sullivan. And if Sullivan's got Will Bernales in his corner, I know he's got a little submission background, so you might want to be a little cautious about hanging out in his guard.
Yeah, and with those long arms and long legs, that's really going to help to his advantage on the ground, too. He's going to be able to lock up English there.
Well, able to pass guard halfway there is Austin English. And then hopping over, trying to get full mount. Looks like he might have it. And Jeremy Sullivan doing a good job of trying not to give up that position. Here's something we haven't seen in a little while. A couple guys that kind of know what they're doing, and they're doing all the right things to battle for position. It's a chess game going on down there, and both guys doing a very good job of really being conscious of where they're at and what their opponents are doing. Right here, Sullivan just trying, it looks like he's not doing a whole lot to try to get out from underneath there, but he's trying to set up that triangle, and looks like he's got it on there. He's got to sink that in a little bit deeper. Dave Sully said, cautioning him, you can't stand up and strike. You have to stay down on the ground, which is kind of puts the top guy at a disadvantage here. Oh, right there, you see, he just got reversed. Jeremy Sullivan coming out on top and raining down some big shots.
Boy, Sullivan was quick there to flip English over.
Yeah, he sure was, and he's quick to take advantage, full advantage of that situation. Right there, he's got the right arm of Austin English trapped, and so able to really do some damage on his face. English trying to come out the back door, and does. All right, good job elevating the leg here, looking for a big takedown, taking a couple shots in the process here. Nice job by English, so finishes the takedown, and once again has Jeremy Sullivan pressed up against the cage.
Yeah, that was a nice dump to the back. He had good position there with the cage sitting there.
Yeah, he used the cage to his advantage, and now he's looking to pass guard. Nice work here, but in the process, Sullivan getting a nice reversal and coming out, pinning the arm down, pinned that left arm down, looking to rain big shots down on his face.
These guys are going back and forth.
I am very, very impressed with both guys. You're seeing a much more technical fight than I thought we would see. Certainly when you get new guys come in here, you don't expect a whole lot of technical fighting going on, but these guys both doing a great job. Right here, Sullivan taking full advantage of that arm length of his reach advantage. He can posture up and land those big shots from sitting straight up.
Yeah, and Austin can't do a whole lot from down there except for turn, twist, and get out of there.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. A nice job here once again, maintaining control of the leg, maintaining control of the hips, looking for that takedown. These guys are not giving up one little bit, and looks like round number 1 in the books. My goodness.
See a little smile coming off English's face there.
Underneath the blood there?
Yes.
You know, he's feeling good about things. I'll tell you what, you can tell both these guys are having a good time. Jeremy Sullivan, clearly, he's no beginner to this game. He's done this stuff before. There's no doubt about that in my mind. And once again, you've got Will Bernales in your corner there, so the kid can't be a complete novice. And then, you know, Austin English, you see the wrestling background. He said he had it. I hadn't heard of him. And sometimes when they come from the southern part of the state, maybe I don't get familiar with some of those guys down there. But clearly, he's got a pretty extensive wrestling background behind him, and did a great job of getting those takedowns. It's a little bit different controlling somebody down on the ground when you're wrestling versus when you're submission fighting, or when you're fighting for that matter. You got to worry about strikes. You got to worry about submissions. You got to worry about all that stuff. We're going to worry about it more when we come back to round number 2. I can't wait. This is going to be a good one. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience, round number 2 of 3 between Jeremy Sullivan and Austin English. And when this fight started, I was very skeptical. You got a couple guys we haven't seen before. I didn't think we were going to see much action coming out here, but my goodness, it's been a barn burner. Nice job, both these guys coming out, throwing some heavy leather to start the round. A big knee by Jeremy Sullivan. Nice work there. And I think that took a lot of wind out of the sails of Austin English.
You know, both these guys are looking very comfortable on the ground on the first round. I'm a little surprised. They're both standing up banging right now.
Oh, my. Sullivan feeding English with some big knees and some big striking from on his feet. Austin English very wise to shoot in and try to take this thing to the ground, because he was getting the short end of that stick, and Jeremy Sullivan happy to dish it out to him.
Yeah, I think Austin's decided it's not a very good idea to stand up against this guy, Jeremy Sullivan, with that reach.
It's not just the reach advantage. He's a very accurate striker. His punches were spot on. His knees found their target on several occasions. And, boy, I'll tell you what, you've seen a lot of guys quit from less punishment. Austin English doing a great job of battling his way through it. And now it looks like he might get the takedown here. And, yeah, he does. He was able to pass the guard of Jeremy Sullivan, and he's got a pretty good position here. Let's see if he's got anything left in the tank, because he took some big shots on his feet. Let's see if he's got anything left to be able to take advantage of here.
Yeah, English took a huge right knee to the side of the face.
Took a couple of them, yeah, and then a couple of big right hands as well. English able to get positioned, but nothing yet. He's got to strike from here. He's got to do something. He's got to step over. Nice mount position here. Not only does he have mount, what I like about this position, he's got mount and they're up against the cage here. There's really not a lot of room for Jeremy Sullivan to kind of wiggle out of here. Now here we go, Austin English sitting up, looking to take advantage of the position right here. Jeremy Sullivan doing a pretty good job of defending, keeping those hands up on his biceps so he can't really wind up and get any good punching. And that's where that reach advantage comes in advantage once again. You're on your back and your arms are just 3 to 6 inches longer than your opponent. You're able to not allow him to sit up and do a whole lot of damage to you. And that's what's happening right here. If he doesn't start to improve his position and do something, Dave Sully says likely to stand him back up.
English is looking for a way out here. I think he's had enough on his back.
Well, that was Sullivan that was on his back. Sullivan getting the reversal here, coming around on top. And, boy, that English, he had a tremendous opportunity. That opportunity went by the wayside. He wasn't able to take advantage of it. Now Sullivan is on top again, looking for a triangle choke, but I don't know. He's going to have to improve that position quite a bit. Trying to cinch it down. Well, now he's getting there, man. He's got to bring that foot down into the nook of his knee. He doesn't have that on tight enough. He's not going to get a submission there. I can see there's a lot of room You can see that big space between the right shoulder and the ear of Jeremy Sullivan. He wasn't going to get that submission. Looks like round number 2 in the books. And once again, boy, oh boy, what a great, exciting fight this is happening right here. Round number 1 and 2, both they delivered on both of them. I think Sullivan's winning this fight, but he's winning it. He's got a battle on his hands. Stick around for round number 3. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience, round number 3 of 3 between Jeremy Sullivan and Austin English, and a much more measured approach for round number 3 than we saw in rounds 1 and 2. Both these guys have been going balls to the wall, for lack of a better term, for this entire first 2/3 of this fight right here. Both guys a little bit tired, and Austin English saying, hey man, I am not going to stand out here at the end of this guy's punches again. I'm looking for a takedown, but I left my neck behind. And Jeremy Sullivan taking advantage of that, looking for a guillotine choke, but also he wound up on top. He was able to get a reversal on in the process of that takedown. Austin English, there's never say die in this kid. Look at him. He's still punching away when he's on bottom, and his head is cranked in a position that most people don't like their head to be cranked in.
Yeah, and this fight's been pretty even.
You know, I think Sullivan's got a decided advantage. He's just landed way more strikes and been more successful in the attempts that he's had. But yeah, it's been back and forth, and a couple guys that, you know, when you get guys that don't, there's no quit in them, and they want to come out here and battle. It's been even in that regard, in the sense that, you know, you just never know. Austin English could hook up this guillotine in the fight, you know, win this fight. Otherwise, Jeremy Sullivan the same could happen. It's that even in terms of these guys. Their ability levels are very, very well matched.
Yeah, they both have a lot of heart. Neither one of them are going to give up. You can see that right here. They're going to go at it for the rest of this round.
I got to tell you, I feel Austin English's pain. We're both kind of stubby-legged, and this move's hard to get when you're stubby-legged. He just got to get it on tighter, or it's just not going to work. Maybe transition to an armbar here would be my best advice for him, but you know, I don't know that he knows how to do that. He's still trying to force that that triangle choke. If he were to straighten his legs, he might be able to get this, or if he's able to get that foot over into the crook of his knee, he might be able to get it. But what he's doing right here, he's not going to be able to get it.
You know, Sullivan's nice and relaxed. He's just waiting for English to make a mistake so he can move in there.
Well, you know, he doesn't really have to do a whole lot. He can just let time tick away, because in my opinion, he's clearly won the first 2 rounds. He can hang out here. He can afford to let that time tick. And quite frankly, he's probably, I imagine, he's super tired, and he's just not in any danger of being submitted here. So it just makes sense to him to not just kind of hang out, get your win back. Unless, of course, Austin English is able to kind of have an epiphany and realize that, oh, if I just make these little minor adjustments on this move, I could get a submission out of it. I just think he's too tired. I don't think he's got enough left in the tank to be able to do that. And quite frankly, I'm not so sure that he has enough submission acumen to be able to do it as well. He's trying to he keeps trying to do the same thing. It's not working. You got to go to something else. And it doesn't look like he's going to now.
Standing him up.
Dave stood him up. I see now. I don't agree with that move. You can't really stand up a guy when he's in a submission. Oh, it looks okay. It was over. All right, that's the end of the 3rd round. So it looks like, well, okay. I think Jeremy Sullivan just kind of stalled his way out of a 3rd round and is going to win this fight. Although he was in a triangle choke for the entire 3rd period. I think he's going to come away with the win. But, you know, my goodness, I've seen, you know, who knows what happens with judges anymore. Both these guys looking like they've been through an absolute war, and there's good reason for that, because they've been through an absolute war. Here's your official judge's decision. I'm just a little bit surprised by that. One of the judges gave that to Austin English. The other judge giving it to Jeremy Sullivan, the 3rd and final judge, says that. There we go.
There it
Jeremy
goes.
Sullivan getting your big win there. I thought he had won that fight. He's happy about it. He should be. He really put on a tremendous performance tonight and did himself proud. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this kid for sure.
Yeah, great fight between these 2 guys.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. We've got another great fight on tap for you here. Ty Hamblin going up against the Gator, Jason Allguire. Ty Hamblin coming down from Wyoming. Where he's been up there kicking a whole lot of tail, I tell you. Ty Hamblin's a good kid. He's a really fun kid to be around, a fun kid to chat with. Little overconfident for his abilities. He feels like he's UFC material. I don't necessarily agree with that assessment, but he's fighting the Gator tonight, so you can be a little overconfident anytime you're fighting the Gator.
Well, this should be an interesting fight.
The Gator's been around a long, long time. He's probably had 60-plus fights, but he's lost about 50 of them.
He keeps coming back.
I will say this about Gator. He'll take a fight against anyone, but the problem is his hair is going to look the same at the end of this fight as it does right now. He's not going to – he's a guy that'll tap a little quick. So as to whether he's qualified to fight somebody of Ty Hamblin's stature, I don't know. We'll see. Looks like Sugarloaf working the quarters tonight. And, Sugar – it wouldn't be a night at the fights without Sugarloaf in there. The kid fights each and every week, and if he's not fighting, he's working somebody's corner. If he's not working somebody's corner, he's here getting drunk and getting a fight in the parking lot.
Yeah, we see a lot of Mike either in the ring or outside of the ring.
He's around a lot, no doubt about it. All right, Dave Sell, you said your referee for this contest. Ty Hamblin in the pink shorts, the Gator in the white shorts, and here we go. Ty Hamblin trying to use that reach advantage he's got, throwing a couple jabs out there. Gator doing a pretty good job of defending. He's got his stand-up defense has gotten a little bit better. But I'll tell you what, one of those kicks lands is going to be in big trouble. Gator attempting the takedown here, went to single leg, transitioned to a double leg. And Ty Hamblin looks like he's willing to concede the takedown. He says, I've got a pretty nasty guard, and I'll go ahead and go to the ground with you and see what you can do when you're down there.
Yeah, he really didn't seem too concerned about going down to the back.
No, not against the Gator. I think he's pretty comfortable going there. Gator's not going to hurt you. He's a kid he'll get on top of you and he'll throw a punch here and there, but I haven't seen him hurt anybody on top as yet. And I don't think he's hurting Ty Hamblin right now either.
He's got pretty good position here with there he goes. Hamblin flipping out of the back.
Well, there you go. Come out the back door. I always love when you get in this position because most guys, they don't really know what to do here, and just you wind up in a kind of awkward point in time where you're just kind of looking at each other and not a whole lot to do. But Hamblin able to come around on top, full mount position, got the Gator pressed against the cage. Is he going to tap? Todd, is he going to tap?
I don't know.
What's the over-under on this? Is he going to make it through the round? Looks like he got out of full mount. Nice job of getting out the back door himself.
He's hanging in there.
Yeah, the Gator will hang in there. Look, he's not, for lack of a better term, he's not a wuss. He's a kid he'll battle you, he'll scrap you a little bit, but if you put him in a real tough spot, he'll tap real quick. And he's one of those guys. He's not going to battle through that real super bad adversity, but he will. He'll come in and he'll put on a show for the first part of the round, and that's about it.
Well, Jason's struggling a little bit on his back, trying to figure out how to get out from underneath Hamblin there.
Yeah, well, Hamblin doing a good job of maintaining position, dropped a couple big elbows right there. There's just little short elbows, and sometimes those will open you right up. I will say this about the Gator. I've been watching him a long time, and he's fought, like I said, in maybe 60 fights. I've maybe seen him have one black eye in the time that I've seen him fight. He doesn't cut, he doesn't bruise up, and like I said earlier, he doesn't even mess his hair up most of the time. Hamblin looking for a submission on the far side there. Gator doing a good job of rolling through, not giving up to it, and coming up on top. Nice work. The Gator is making me eat my words here. He's surprising everybody. Look, if Gator wins this fight, I'll be the first guy to eat my socks, if you will. I'll apologize to him. I really thought that Hamblin would have beaten him by now. We're now coming to the end of the first round. So, Gator's going to go back and regroup, and it looks like Sugarloaf's going to go help old Hamblin retool. We're going to come back for a round number 2 in just a moment. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. Round number 2 of 3 between Ty Hamblin and the Gator, Jason Allguire. Round number 1, I think Ty Hamblin clearly won that first round. Jason Allguire, though, impressing me. Was able to get out of a couple of submission attempts by Ty Hamblin that I didn't think he would get out of. I didn't think that he would even try to get out of, but he did. So Jason Allguire maybe getting a little tougher as time goes by. He's trying to hang on right here. Doesn't want to be taking those kind of shots right there. That was a big knee by Ty Hamblin. I think you saw Jason Allguire's knees buckle a little bit when he got hit with that. And just kind of trying to hang on and cover up now. Still trying to work for that double leg takedown. Ty Hamblin doing a nice job of keeping his base wide right there, keeping his balance and pressing up, letting the cage kind of hold himself up until he's able to get into a position where he can land another one of those knees.
And Jason's looking pretty comfortable right there.
Well, yeah, look, he's not giving up on that takedown, which is very smart, actually, because on his feet, he was just going to get picked apart. Did a nice job of finishing the takedown after taking some pretty big body shots, but he landed right in a very, very deep triangle choke there. And, Hamlin's got those long legs that I'd really be surprised if Jason Allguire. There you go. There's a tap.
There we are.
There's Tappy Tap Tap, the guy I know so well. Allguire, though. I give him credit, though. That was on tight. You can see his face is all flush and red, and he was a little dizzy from it. He was going to take a little nap, so it was probably a good thing for him that he tapped out. Sugarloaf coming in and congratulating Ty Hamblin. Ty comes along. Drives a long way. He comes from deep into Wyoming, comes all the way down here, and when he comes to fight, but usually puts on a pretty good show, and coming away with another big win here tonight. I guess the judges are going to have to think about things a little bit to decide who really won, and looks like we have come to a conclusion. Ty Hamblin getting a big win here over the Gator.
Yeah, you got to give props to Jason, though. He hung in there really well.
I give Jason all the props in the world, man. He did better than I thought he would, and every time you kind of doubt a kid like that, he proves you wrong, and he came out, and in my mind it was a bit of a moral victory because Ty Hamblin's a pretty good little fighter. We're going to roll right into the next fight here, where you've got, it looks like John Incorvaia going to make a return to the ring against a kid named Josh Presser. We don't know a lot about Josh Presser, but we do know a lot about John Incorvaia. Josh Presser here, good-looking kid. Incorvaia, he's the guy that's been he's another Jason Allguire. He'll fight anytime you call him. He'll take any fight. He's actually fought in King of the Cage. He's fought in some of the bigger shows. Hasn't had a whole lot of success in the cage, whereas Josh Presser, we've not seen him before, but if I were to kind of say just what I'm looking at here, I think Josh Presser might be a little too much for John Incorvaia.
Well, another exciting fight coming up.
Yep, all right, so looks like Incorvaia trying to make his way into the cage. And, the Athletic Commission really is on top of stuff here. They, they make sure these guys are ready to rock and roll. And John Incorvaia, there you go. That's the guy I was telling you about. He'll fight anybody anytime. Hasn't had a ton of success, so far. And so Josh Presser, oh, there we go. The man, look at that. That's Jerome Hatch there and his lovely little wife sitting cage side. So somebody just had to wake up Christmas. Come on, Sugarloaf, wake up,
napping.
Man. You got a fight about ready to start here. All right, round number 1 coming your way in a very glorious way. John Incorvaia and Joshua Presser. Lonnie Foster, your referee for this contest, getting things started here. And here we go. Oh, Incorvaia trying a big spinning hook kick there. Not landing, but now the topsy-turvy tumbling begins.
Yeah, Joshua got out of the way just in time.
Yeah, he sure did, boy. That was, man, I really wish that John Incorvaia would have landed that. It would have been so good for him. He's been around a long time, and he's a gamer. He's a good kid. He's not that kind of guy that's just going to tap on you either. He'll game it out as long as he can. He's an older
big
gentleman.
Knees coming in
and he's
from
taking
Josh.
He's taking shots to the body, no doubt about it. Incorvaia, he's just a good guy too. He's just a real nice, soft-spoken guy. He's a true martial artist. Been doing martial arts all his life. Loves it. He kind of lives and breathes martial arts, and the athletic commission has talked about not letting him fight anymore because he's getting up there in age. He's in his mid-40s, and this is something that he lives for. It's something he very much enjoys. He hasn't won a whole lot of fights, but man, he sure has come out and scrapped it out with some pretty tough guys, and he's the guy that's going to have a huge smile on his face regardless of the outcome of this fight right here. And right now, it's not looking like the outcome is going to be very favorable for him. Josh Presser able to get full mount position here, really imposing his will on him, grinding his hips down, and it's a super uncomfortable position that he's in. He's probably not able to breathe very well under there with Presser putting his face, maybe that's why they call him Presser, pressing his body up against his face there.
Yeah, it's fun seeing guys like John come in here that really love the sport and are willing to step up, especially to a guy that has a little more game than he has, and he'll get in there.
Yeah, well, there's your tap right there. Incorvaia gave it his all and just didn't quite work out for him. But, I tell you what, I promise you Monday morning, the first phone call I'm going to get is from John Incorvaia saying, hey, man, give me another fight. He's that kind of kid. This is kind of what we expected out of this fight, though. John Incorvaia coming out and really putting up a game effort. But Josh Presser, not knowing a whole lot about him, he came out and he impressed me tonight.
Very nice for Josh. Submission in the first round.
Yep, there you go. And who knows? We'll have to kind of see this division. There aren't a whole lot of little teeny tiny guys in the tournament here, but we'll have to see where Josh measures up against some of the other guys, the Josh Bucks of the world, and some of the other smaller guys that we have in this weight class. I don't know what takes these judges so long to figure out who won when it was a submission. You saw the guy tap out. You saw the other guy,
Mike, it's photo time. We got to get our pictures in there.
Well, he's trying to keep a straight face right there. There you go. Josh Presser getting a big win over John Incorvaia. His record is now 1-0. Oh, my. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. There's a guy you see at the show each and every week, Levi Roberts. However, usually he's setting up the cage. He's our cage crew foreman. And he got tired of coming to the show each and every week, lifting all the heavy metal and all the wood, and putting his work in, putting his time in, and not getting to punch anybody. He said, Mike, can you get me a fight? And I said, you know what, buddy? That's what we do around here. I'll get you a fight. Levi Roberts. Great kid. By his own account, he struggled with drugs. He's had his issues over the years. He's a recovering drug addict. Very, very into his faith. He's LDS and very, very feels very passionately about his faith and sharing his faith with others. There you see his mother and his wife over there cheering him on. He's excited about this. He's been coming to the gym for quite some time. Like I said, he's our cage crew manager, been around the fights for a while. Decided he wants to finally step in here and do this thing. Going up against Scrappy, though. Scrappy James Francis is a pretty tough kid that, he's got his nickname for a reason. He's a very, very scrappy fighter. I expect this fight to be kind of sloppy, but very, very scrappy, if you will, for lack of a better term, because both these guys, a little bit wild, but they're both very tenacious guys. They're both very guys that they're kind of headstrong, if you will. They've got a mutual respect for one another. Scrappy obviously sees Levi here at the show quite a bit, because Scrappy's fought a few times, and we get to know our cage crew because they're a good bunch of guys and they work hard, and sometimes we're kind of like a mash unit. We got to set that cage up in a hurry, and every now and then the fighters will hop in and help them out. So these guys know each other a little bit. They're going to come in and fight one another, but they got a good regard for one another. Dave Selystead giving them the ins and outs, what you can and cannot do. And I'll tell you what, when Dave's refereeing, if you do what you're not supposed to, you might likely get into another fight.
We'll stay away from that one.
All right, a touch of the gloves, and here we go. Boy, I'll tell you what, Scrappy wanted to get a takedown right off the bat. Man, these guys are swinging for the fences, baby. Somebody's going to go to sleep in this one. I have a funny feeling.
Well, they are going after it.
Well, Scrappy trying to get that takedown. I tell you what people don't realize, I just mentioned that Levi does a lot of lifting of heavy things. he's super strong. He's not super knowledgeable, but he's super strong. And he gets a hold of you. He's one of those kids you feel like, oh my goodness, this kid's got a hold of me, and I'm not going to be able to get away from it. Scrappy doing a good job of pinning the arm down, looking to land some big shots to the face. Not able to quite do that because Levi hung onto his hand there and didn't let him. A little topsy-turvy action going on here. Scrappy's got a little more submission and position experience than Levi. But Levi's got that crazy strong dude strength and just,
Oh, nice.
A foot stomp
Nice
there.
foot stomp.
We don't see a whole lot of that, but perfectly legal strike, and those hurt. If you ever had your foot stomped on, you'll realize it. It hurts. Levi looking to get a little choke in here. This is what we mentioned earlier in the program, that when you bear another guy's weight like this, it really can take it out of you. You shoot in there, you don't get that takedown right away. It can be pretty tiresome for you. And boy, Levi landed a lot of big, nice shots to the body. And again, if this fight goes on into the later rounds, all that's going to come back to haunt the old Scrappy shooting in on Levi like that.
Yeah, James has his hands full right now. Levi is really digging in there, throwing some heavy hands. He's got him locked up pretty good.
He's got him in, landing some big knees. That's a big knee right there. Another one, 2 or 3 big shots to the face. And boy, I'll tell you what, Scrappy is in a little bit of trouble if he can't get out from underneath here. Levi got the double cow catcher on there and just kind of keeping him down below him and just feeding those knees one after the next.
Amazing job by Levi.
I expected this out of him. He's just such a scrappy guy, man, and he's coming in here and doing his thing. And well, look at him.
He's just throwing Francis around.
He's imposing his will for sure. He's a very strong individual, as I mentioned before. Scrappy's just trying to hang on to his hand so he can't get punched by it. Dave Sully says, hey, let go. Let's get back up on your feet. Scrappy's gun shy. Look at him ducking his head. That's it.
And down he goes.
Scrappy took a dive, it looked like. It didn't look like he got knocked out, but it looked like he just didn't want anymore, and he just fell down. And I don't blame him, man. He took some big knees. Scrappy's a good-looking kid. He'll be back. And he is a scrappy kid. But, man, Levi coming out and getting it done. Got a big win tonight.
You got to give it up for that kid.
Oh, I meet a lot of people in this game. I've been doing this for a long time, and we do a lot of fights. We do shows every week, sometimes twice a week. And I've not met a cooler guy than Levi Roberts. He's a really, really nice, genuine guy. Always asking if I need anything, always wanting to help. If there's anything you can do to help around the gym, he's always, he's that kind of guy. And, you don't meet a whole lot of guys like that. And his work ethic is amazing. He does the cage after he does, he's coming back from a 12-hour day at work. He's that kind of kid. And I'm happy to see him get a big win tonight. So, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it's fun to see one of the team hop inside the ring after standing on the outside of the ring, get in there and just do a fantastic job.
Yeah, and I kind of feel bad for Scrappy. He kind of thought he was going to be able to come in and mow over the cage crew guy, but sometimes the cage crew guy is tougher than you think. And when look at it, I told you,
look at the smile on his face there.
He is loving things right now, man, and I couldn't be happier for him. Man, good stuff. And I'll tell you what, I know that his mother and his wife are super proud of him too. And there he goes, praising Jesus once again. He's always giving the love to the man upstairs. So congratulations, Levi Roberts, getting a big win tonight. It's going to be a party at the Ultimate Combat Experience. One of the Hatch brothers show up to fight. Tonight, the younger brothers, Jared Hatch, Chow Top, they like to call him, showing up and bringing half of Southern Utah with them. These guys come up here. They're loud. They're boisterous. They're a hell of a lot of fun. And they really make the show a ton of fun to put on. Chow Top didn't get into fighting nearly as seriously as his brother Jerome. His brother Jerome's there. He is right there working his corner. It looks like Jerome's getting ready to fight tonight too. He's just got gloves on. Jerome very accomplished fighter. And his brother just used to come and work his corner, and for the longest time was just a fan of the sport. And now he's hopping in himself, going up against kid Ricky Urias. Ricky's been around for a little while. He's had a few fights and done fairly well. His first fight, he was very, very novice, and every fight that he's had, he's come along. He's gotten much, much better. I've been very impressed with this kid's progress. I'll be interested to see what Chow Top brings to the table. He's got that Hatch fight spirit, but I don't know if he's got, clearly he's not gonna be as refined as his brother.
Yeah, Jared Hatch, he looks ready.
Well, and I think Urias looks a little scared, and I
think so.
Jared Hatch is in his head. There's no doubt about it. Ready to rock and roll is he. Dave Sully said once again, that's Lonnie Foster right there is going to be a referee for this contest, and giving some last-minute instructions to Urias, saying, hey, man, you ready? Let's do this thing.
And Jared is ready.
Oh, Jared's ready to be shot out of a cannon, you can tell.
Imagine growing up next door to those two brothers.
Yeah.
It must have been a mess on that street.
Those two are hell on wheels, there's no doubt about it.
And he's just getting after it.
Yeah, Urias threw a kind of a feeble right front kick and then tried to duck underneath and get a takedown, and now he's in a world of hurt. He's way over his head.
He is manhandling him.
Yeah, Hatch can't decide if he wants to rip his head off his shoulders or punch it off. And looks like he's doing a little bit of each. Ricky Urias, being game, he's a gamer. He's not giving in, but boy, he's taking a lot of punishment. Nice job there by Urias to get that left underhook and face Hatch, but Hatch not letting him get away, not letting him get anywhere, and continues to pound away with that right hand. He's like a jackhammer. And this is what I was talking about. He's not as refined as Jerome in the sense that Jerome uses both of his hands, but Jared here pounding away with a mean, vicious right hand.
Hatch says, get up on your feet. Let's get after it.
Let's do this more. Yeah, Urias is gun shy. He's kind of feigning away from those punches already. He's been tagged a couple of times, and I don't think he wants to get tagged anymore. He's probably had enough of it.
Well, those big rights by Hatch had to put the hurt on Richard there.
Without a doubt. It'd be interesting to see if he ever develops his left hand, how good he could become. He's got a vicious right hand, but
and again, Hatch says, stand up with me, buddy.
And this place just goes bonkers. They love the Hatch brothers. The Hatch brothers bring it every time. Urias doesn't love him so much right now. He's not. Oh, that's it. That's going to do it. That left hand right there connected, and Urias, no more. Yeah. That's going to call.
I think that left hand was a surprise.
Yeah, and who knew he had a left hand? We thought he had just a right hand all this time, and all of a sudden he brings out that left, and boy, put the right on his backside. And
he still looks ready.
He wants to fight again.
Bring someone else in the ring.
That's the Hatch brothers, man. These guys are a cool couple guys. I'll never forget when they first came around. They were just so amped about the fact that they could get in the cage and fight and not get in trouble and fight. And then they could fight some more. They just loved it, man. They loved the fact that they could come in here and fight. And I'll tell you what, though, Jerome has really evolved his game. He's not just a scrapper, Street Fighter style fighter. He's really, really becoming a good talent. There's Jerome's lovely wife and Jared's lovely wife out there. Look at that. These guys are always trying to throw their neck around, man. All right, looks like the judges have kind of come to a conclusion as to who our victor here is, and Lonnie Foster waiting to give us that official indication that Jared Hatch has been victorious tonight.
Yeah, Richard has a look of relief.
Yeah, it might be a look of relief, isn't it? He's came, he saw, he bought the T-shirt. He's felt the Hatch brothers and probably doesn't want to feel them ever again. All right, welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. Jesus Herrera, El Jefe, El Oso. They call him the boss, they call him the bear. This guy also brings a lot of fans. This guy, super likable guy. He's a small business owner, owns a bunch of restaurants around town, Hispanic restaurants. Lapa is the name. He's one of those guys that he puts in long hours at work, and then he comes to the gym afterward, and he's been itching to fight for the longest time, man. He wants to get a fight. And here's another guy, Cory Rassmussen. He's a guy that calls every week. He says, Mike, you got to fight for me? Mike, you got to fight for me? And I told him this week, I said, I got to fight for you. But this kid's pretty tough. He's never fought, but he's pretty tough. And I just think Oso's one of those guys that he's going to go right through you. Cory Rassmussen said, you know what, I need to get that fight, man. Get me in that cage. And so here we are. You're going to see El Oso going up against Cory Rassmussen. Round number 1. Okay, so he said, let's come out swinging, fellas. Let's go.
2 big guys ready to go after it. Nice right by Herrera.
One big guy was ready to go after it. I'm not so sure the
another
other
right
big
by
guy.
Herrera.
Yeah, this is going to be a short one, I think. I don't think I'll be getting any phone calls from Cory Rassmussen on Monday about getting me a fight. Well, this is El Oso's debut into the cage, and I think it's going to be a short one.
Big right knee.
Yeah, that's going to do it right there.
That's it.
That was a big nut right knee, and I would have put most anybody down. Cory Rassmussen's like, man, that's not quite the way I imagined it. Also feeling good about those.
That's a big dude.
Well, that's a big dude squeezing him right there too. Salvador Sanchez working his corner tonight. I think Oso has a tremendous potential in this game, but with the work schedule that he keeps, you're probably not going to see him fighting in the UFC or anything like that. But he's a kid that I think really fits well in this show, and I think this is a perfect platform for him to come in here and show all his hard work that he does in the gym. And unfortunately, Cory Rassmussen was able to see that on the bad side, and there's Cory's wife right there. She's like, "Oh, what were you thinking, man?"
Yeah, Herrera's got to be pretty excited about this. Come out in the first round and take over like he did.
Yeah, he feels real good about it, and he should. He's put a lot of hard work in. He's in the gym each and every day doing his thing, and all that hard work. That's going to put a wrap on things, and as expected, Todd, we saw the heavyweights. We knew somebody was going down, and El Oso got it done.
Another awesome fight. Love to see those big guys bang.
Send that Cory Rassmussen back to Wyoming with a little bit of a headache, perhaps. However, next week, speaking about headaches, the Sugarloaf, he's always either giving them or getting them. He's going to be fighting a good-looking kid by the name of Jake Truman. You want to check that out for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, Chrisman, he's an awesome guy. Can't wait to see him.
He's a knucklehead. But we'll see him next week. We'll see you next week on the Ultimate Combat Experience.